All right, Rod. Man, I don't know what the date is. It says it's December 11th, but I feel like it's going to be July 4th because it's going to be fireworks, sir, on Saturday. We got Amanda Nunes, the champ, the GOAT, versus Julianna Pena. Um, what do you think, man? I don't know. I'm lost for words here, really, because for me, I think it's easy. But I want you to start. I want you to start this off.
Man, that was a great introduction. I don't know how I can beat that. You said July 4th. It's December 11th, but it could be July 4th, right?
Oh, like
Fireworks. The women's Billy Goat, the greatest of all time, Amanda Nunes, two-weight current champ in the UFC, taking on Julia Pena. I don't think Julia Pena is a walk in the park, but I mean, Amanda Nunes right now, after everything she's proven, she's the GOAT. I don't think anyone's on her level. I mean, any woman that fights right now currently in the UFC, outside the UFC, that's the talk of the talk. Amanda Nunes has been there. She's done what she needs to do, and she's finished everybody pretty like, I mean, there wasn't competition. You never see Amanda Nunes get hurt. She finished everyone decisively, and it just speaks volumes to her character. Her status is like one of the greatest fighters of all time. I don't think December 11th is any different. I think she gets in there and gets the job done against Pena. But what I do want to bring a highlight to is something that her coach did say. Now, he did say that with Amanda Nunes being Amanda Nunes, she gets a lot of not criticism, that's not the right word, but she gets a lot of people just expect her to go in there and finish people, right? And that's a lot of pressure on her because she has to perform at a certain level. He said Julia Pena is not a walk in the park, and I agree with him. I think she's very tough. She brings a different type of tool sets to the octagon, and I think she will challenge Amanda a little bit. But ultimately, I do think Amanda does have, everything she needs to have to finish Julian Pena. I don't think it goes over 2 rounds. I think she gets a knockout. But it'll be a fun main code event. I think it's just gonna add another name to her legacy, and we're seeing the GOAT, man. We're seeing history in the making right now with Amanda Nunes. So definitely tune in for this one. Watch it just for the entertainment purposes that you're going to watch one of the greatest women athletes of all time perform.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot like the Shevchenko fight. It's like
Absolutely.
they try to build up these fighters as much as they can to make it seem interesting. And it is gonna be interesting. And I'll talk a little bit about why. But the fact that they're not underestimating Julianna Pena, it's just the best. You need to fight every fighter, no matter who you are. You got to fight them like they're Chris Cyborg, or you got to fight them, like they're the best fighter in the world. Because at this moment, they are. They're facing you. They're the best that they've got. So you got to look at it that way. So I already love where the camp's mindset is, where her and her coach that they said that and they acknowledged that. Dude, Amanda is scary everywhere. She's scary on the ground against the cage, scary stand up. But Julianna Pena, you're right. She is no walk around the park. She's well rounded. She's a ground specialist. She's coming off that submission win off of Sarah McMahon. And then before that, though, a sub loss to Jermaine Durand in Maine, right? So Julianna Pena's recent resume doesn't give me all the faith that she's going to be the one to dethrone the GOAT, to dethrone the champ, which is kind of how I view it, right? And if Pena beats Amanda Nunes, I mean, you're not just winning a fight, like you're taking that. Everything that she's, I'm not saying you're going to end up on the pound for pound the number 1 spot, but you might as well if you beat Amanda Nunes. I just don't think Julianna Pena is the one that's going to do it. Her resume kind of tells me so. Her stand-up is not as good. I think her stand-up, she's a little hesitant at times. I saw her struggle also on the cage and on the ground against Sarah McMahon until she got that submission, which shows me that, she's got heart. She's going to hang in there. I think Julianna Pena is going to try her best not to go the under, but that's pretty much the most that she can aim for, in my opinion, is to just try not to get finished. When you go against Amanda Nunes, it's more about, okay, who can survive? That's really, if you survive, you win. That's kind of how it is in my eyes. So,
I mean, you're not wrong there, Ben. You're definitely not wrong.
She's scary, man. She's scary, and I would like to see the end. Not the end of her reign, but I would like to see her out of the UFC. Maybe this fight, a couple more, whatever she feels. I trust however she feels, whatever she thinks she needs to make herself satisfied. But for me, I would be blessed if I can see her for another 5 years, another 10 years. But I want her to retire with esteem. I want her to retire, and just live her life right off in the sunset. She's got an awesome family that she can spend time with. I want her to collect this win over Julianna Pena, as a fan. I'm saying this as a fan. And then just cruise on over to the sunset. But let's not doubt Julianna Pena completely. Like I said, she does have a good skill set. I just don't think she's the one. Like Neo from Matrix, she's not the one.
Richard, you're not wrong, man. I think you're right on everything you said, and I the last part really summed up everything that needed to be summed up. I want to see her go out on top, man, because I mean she's being the who's in the women's division. I mean, add a couple more names to that resume, definitely ride off into the sunset with all those accolades. Being on top of the division, keeping all those belts. You haven't seen a UFC champion that holds 2 belts kind of go out on top like that. So Amanda Nunes definitely has the opportunity. And again, being one of the female fighters, I don't think she gets the recognition she needs, but she's pound for pound one of the greatest of all times. And, just to add on to that, I don't think there's a woman alive right now that can hang with her. I think in order to get in the ring with Amanda Nunes and possibly get a win, you got to have a pair of hairy nugs between your legs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Buddy,
you got to. And even then,
you might still have a tough task ahead of you.
But guys, you need to tune into this fight, like Rodrigo said. If you're not a UFC fight fan, this one will make you a fight fan. Just tune in for the entertainment, man. You're gonna see Amanda Nunes at work. She's one of these fighters that you need to see in person and be able to say, I saw Amanda Nunes in person. This is what we're witnessing here. That you're gonna be able to say that she was the greatest woman MMA fighter of all time. So you don't want to miss out on that on that phenomenon, So I'm excited, man. I can't wait. Like I said, 4th of July.